Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we are back on the Hermitcraft server. It is dark, it is rainy, but it is another one of those mini episodes. Episode 4, I do believe. And wow, we really are cracking on with these, aren't we? We are getting down and doing them all. I think I said in the beginning that there were going to be 6 mini episodes while I get my exams out the way, and it looks like, yeah, it probably will be about 6 or 7. So that is the plan at the minute. But you guys seem to be really enjoying these mini episodes, and I am glad to hear that you are enjoying them. That's always nice. It's never nice when people are saying that things that you're making are rubbish. So I am glad that some people are enjoying them. Some are even saying that they enjoy them more than the full-length episodes because they don't take that much time. You can just sit back, chill out for 10 minutes and watch them. So I've sort of taken that into consideration. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. But anyway, in today's episode, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be having a world tour of all of the things that I have built. So we are going to be taking a look at all the stuff that I have done on the Hermitcraft server. Considering we've been on here for a year, I thought it would be a good time to take a look at some of the stuff that I've been up to. And you can see some of them off in the distance. But at the minute, I am currently surviving off of rotten flesh. So I think we should head inside Biffa's bakery here and take a look inside. Just let you know, before you think that I've started up the world tour already, this isn't something that I've built. This is something that was built by Biffa. But anyway, if we pick... What? Expired bread, putrid pie, dusty cookie. I think someone's done something to Biffa's supplies here. Dry bread, crappy cake, and that poison potato seems to be okay, but I guess, well, actually, it's a poison potato, and it's not meant to be a poison potato, so there we go. Biffa's bakery has taken a turn for the worst, quite clearly, but anyway, because I am pretty much starving, I'm going to have to pick up myself a little bit of expired bread, and I guess we'll head over here, chuck in a donation of 33 iron blocks. That's quite a bit. And how about some TNT as well? There we go, Biffa. So that is quite a lot of money, isn't it, for a bit of expired bread? But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to start off by taking a look at the things that are dotted about in the spawn Hermitcraft town. So we're going to head right over to the origin and begin from where it began. Once again, I do apologise for the rain here, but this is where Hermitcraft all began. This is the place in which we set up shop, where we started off Hermitcraft, and this middle section here, like the main centerpiece of the beginning area of Hermitcraft, was actually built by myself, believe it or not. I know, looking back, I mean, I can't believe I actually built this, because this seems to be one of my favourite builds on the server, and I did it within like the first couple of days. I think it looks really, really cool. I've always wanted to change the fountain a little bit, but I've never come up with a decent design. But yeah, this is it. I built this with the help of Exuma and King Happy, I believe, back in the day, and it looks pretty cool. It's a nice centerpiece. Also, all the torches, I once again said that I was going to be getting rid of those, but they've just never moved on. Anyway, if we head around the town, you can see I made that little ender pearl dispenser. I wonder if it's got any ender pearls in it. I'll try and demonstrate it, seeing as we have a few ender pearls on us. So basically, if I hit this button here, you will see that we get ourselves exactly 16 ender pearls. It's called an ender station, and I really like those things. I've done a few uploads of those in the past, but over here, we've got ourselves the original Redstone consultancy that now appears to be filled with coloured sheep, or at least one coloured sheep and a chicken. Let's take a look. Have we got any orders in the old consultancy? No, it doesn't look like it. We never really got many orders over at this place, partly because it's quite a small little shop. But yeah, Redstone Consultancy by Dr. Mumbo. Now, if we head over, where else have I built things in the town? Oh, over there, look, you can see my little English cottage. This is my house in Hermiton, the original Hermiton, and it's quite sweet, isn't it? It's quite a sweet little abode. It reminds me of an English cottage. I think that's what I was going for. In fact, I remember saying that quite a lot in the episode. Oh, I'm going for the English cottage look. Oh, I'm going to try and build an English cottage, etc. But this is one of the few houses, actually, that has an interior. This has got things on the inside. Look, we've got a little bar, a few stoves, a few shelves and things. You know, the usual stuff. And this is a payment, I believe, from Zombie Cleo. So thank you. She gave me a horse. I remember that. And I believe that is almost all the stuff that I did in the Hermiton. I built this tree farm. It's not particularly good, but what you have to remember is that when Hermitcraft first started, it it was when hoppers had just been introduced into the game, so this kind of farm was pretty groundbreaking. It looks fairly silly right now, we just got water running it into hoppers, but remember, hoppers were a brand new thing and everyone was trying to work out various ways to use them, and this seemed like a pretty good way, and I believe it still works, so that's good to hear. Just another thing, this isn't strictly my build, this is inside Monkey Farm's giant skull, and one thing that I wanted to say is I really like the way that he's done this place. He's got lava on the top so that droops down, and then he's got these particles coming out the bottom. Looks pretty awesome, but a while back I helped him out by building him a piston elevator, and I want to give it a go, see if this actually works, because piston elevators on servers, well, they're not necessarily a match made in heaven, let's put it that way. So hit the button, and, okay, we've gone through the pistons. Let's give it another go. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt, see if we can do it second time lucky. Oh, yes, we made it to the top. So there we go, that is the piston elevator, and it looks like it's still working, at least 50% of the time. So this is the inside of the skull, and wow, this is one of my favourite builds on the server. It's just so cool, such a great idea, and if you haven't seen Monkey Farm doing this, then I would highly suggest checking out his channel. A link to that will be down in the description. Now, some of you, or at least I hope most of you, know where I am right now. This is the iron foundry that I built on the server probably 2-3 months ago, and well, it still looks incredible. It's made even better now by all of the awesome decoration that has been going on. But for those of you who don't know what this is a giant iron golem farm. You can see iron golems flow out of this one, and actually I believe that guy being there will mess up the rates a little bit, but I can't hit him because he will absolutely destroy me, because obviously the villagers are nearby and it'll get all protective, and I don't want to be messing around with that. But anyway, when we originally joined the server, the first thing that I did pretty much was I built an iron farm, because like I say, hoppers had just been introduced and they use quite a lot of iron, so I decided, hey, us hermits, we're probably going to need a lot of iron. So we built a single module iron farm way up in the sky, but after a little while, we all realised that we needed something a little bit better, and that's when Tango Tech came along. He released this upload, and I was like, well, you know what, I've got to build this thing, and it's still providing so much iron. We have got the most iron. We've got more iron than we will ever need. You can see that it is all being sent out because we just have too much of it. All of these chests here, they are full to the brim with iron ingots, and all of these chests over here should be full up with iron blocks, or at least some people have been taking them. But yeah, basically there is tons of iron. We pretty much have an infinite supply of iron. It's the most abundant block that we have on the server, which is always nice. And for anyone that's wondering, this is actually built inside the spawn chunk, so it's always loaded 24/7. Even if someone isn't on the server, this place is loaded. So it always generates iron, about 1,400 ingots an hour. So it's pretty good. And it's one of my favourite builds on the server. And it just works so awesomely. And I'm very, very glad that I did it. Even if it did take a few days. A few days, definitely. Now, some of you guys that have been around for absolutely ages will recognise this project. We are currently on the top of the nether, above the bedrock, and we are over at the old gold farm. This is a project that I originally started back in the day on Hermitcraft. I think it was about episode 12 or so. Pretty ambitious considering. I mean, look how many pistons, redstone and everything that is in this thing. But sadly, it just didn't work. The design was a little bit flawed, and it caused some major problems. I mean, lag was a huge issue, okay? This would cause a lot of lag because it was always running. But not only that, just the blocks used to keep disappearing, the pistons would bug out, the clocks would just stop working, and essentially it just wasn't a functional design. It's not something that I wanted to use because I spent more time maintaining it than I did actually getting gold from it. So there we go, that is the original gold farm, and if we actually take a look at it from down at the bottom, hopefully you can just about see it. You'll be able to see the scale of it. So there it is. Wow, that looks quite impressive, doesn't it? So that's something that I built originally above the nether. Now we have an even better gold farm in the form of the one in my base, and an even better gold farm in the form of the one that Exuma built. So gold isn't really a concern anymore. I really do feel like I am forgetting stuff here, so please let me know in the comment section if I miss any projects that I've worked on. I know some of you really do sit down and watch all of my Hermitcraft videos, which is absolutely lovely, and you probably remember more about it than I do, because obviously it spanned a year. But anyway, here is my little Hermiton house. This is the new Hermiton, and I thought I would congratulate the newness of it by building a brand new house, a cool looking modern house, because in the old one we had an English cottage, and you don't move into a new neighborhood and then build another English cottage. Instead you go for the ultra modern look, and you know what, I think it's okay. I probably would have gone for blue stained glass nowadays instead of the ice, but I can't remember if blue stained glass even existed when we move over here. Really can't remember that one. But anyway, if we head over to the commercial district, this is where I have also done a whole bunch of stuff. I really have done quite a bit on the server these days. So first off, you can see the junker meter. This is where hermits can come along and chuck all of the rubbish items that they don't want anymore into this, and then gradually it backs up. It's just a nice way of seeing how much rubbish all of the hermits produce. Then over here, we have got the Labyrinth Project, and let's actually take a look and see if any other hermits have been playing it. So let's take a look in the chest here. We have got, oh, Spum 200. It's not particularly fast. But we won't take the mick because he sucks at mazes, quite clearly. And then Slip, obviously, has currently got the fastest time at 133. That is pretty impressive. I am impressed by how fast some of these people are completing the maze. But anyway, if we head back out, I'm trying to remember all of the stuff that I've been up to. Obviously, back in the day, I had my little Better Than Exuma's wheat shop, and then I had the giant better sign there, but obviously I took that down eventually. Of course, we have got the new Redstone consultancy, which is over here, that is really nice, really big, is covered in redstone blocks, and generally looks fairly industrial. And actually, I've got a job that I need to do from Spumwack. I need to build a sorting system. I completely forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me, guys. And then, of course, down here, we have got the RV. This is something that I've been working on over the past couple of episodes, I guess you could say, or at least the past episode or so, and it looks good. I really like the RV. Let's see if we have made any sales. I don't know how many of the hermits actually need cactus. It's quite hard to get into, so no sales there, no sales there, no sales, no sales, and a big old no sales. Okay, well, whatever. The RV looks cool, and I'm happy with that project. This is another project that I built in a recent episode, and it is my little area of the horse racing track. And I got a whole bunch of comments about the fact that these are not going to stop the horses. And I know they're not going to stop the horses. That wasn't the idea, because I have a feeling that if I made it so that they stop the horses, it would sort of ruin the race a little bit. Say all of the hermits come running through, and then each of them gets stuck, and then they have to wait, and then they go and they get stuck again, and that would just be really, really annoying. So what I did instead was I made it so it rises by one block each layer, I guess you could say. So it goes one block, one block, one block, one block, and it doesn't cause any problems for the horses. It's just a fun looking obstacle, something to mess around with, and it's just something for the hermits to think about as they're running through, I guess. So that was my plan there. It was never to cause any problems, just to have a little bit of fun. Do redstone for the sake of doing redstone. Another thing that I built in a very recent episode, I believe this was the previous episode actually, and that is this first year birthday of Hermitcraft. And don't worry guys, I have now fixed this TNT cannon, so that's not causing any problems anymore. But this one will probably be quite fresh in most of your minds, so let's move on. Now I know there are some things that I have missed that I have done in and around the community. For example, I did a whole bunch of work over at Biffa's base. I made his item elevator, sorting system, and also I built a skeleton farm right next to his base. I don't know if he knows that that's there, but it produces a lot of bones. So if he needs bones, then he's got one in his base already. That's pretty lucky, isn't it? But this is the original Mumbo Jumbo Jungle base, and this is my pride and joy. This is what I've been working on most on the Hermitcraft server. You can see it is pretty densely populated in terms of what's in here. So let's begin with the things that I did first. The first thing that I did when I came round here was I built, I can't remember if we built the mob spawner first, then the ring, or if the ring was the first thing that I built. So either way round, they were both amazing builds. Seriously, I have never been so proud of how a build has turned out as I did when I built this ring. It's one of my favourite builds I've ever done, and I honestly, once again, can't imagine how I got the idea to do it, because I mean, you've seen some of my builds, and they don't seem to be like this anymore. I swear I peaked really, really early. Like, when I joined the Hermitcraft server, that was my building peak, and then it's gone downhill from there. I don't know, but this is a really, really cool build, and it's quite a characteristic part of my base. It's acted as a centerpiece, and it's allowed me to do a whole bunch of stuff around it and things, and I'm pretty proud of it. And then, in the middle, we have got the item storage for the mob spawner. So what we did is we built the giant mob spawner that you can see up there that uses a bunch of water buckets, hoppers and all that stuff, and then all of the items used to be transported down by a hopper line and they'd run into all of these chests. So they'd all be sorted out into these chests. You can see that there are still some items left in here, but then the sorting system broke because it backed up too much. But that is that one. And it's pretty cool. Once again, I'm fairly happy with how I built this sorting system, even though we don't really use the chests up the top here because we have got the area down beneath. Speaking of the area down below, how about we take a look at that? You guys have probably seen this so many times now. You know exactly what is going on. And that is because I spend a lot of time down here. This is like the heart of my base. It is where all of my things are stored. And originally, this storage system was actually a little bit bigger. We used to have chests going all the way down there as well. But I quickly realized that we were never, ever going to use any of those. So I got rid of them and replaced it with what I will describe as a decorative wheat farm. This really doesn't do a whole lot. We haven't really got any wheat from this place. Speaking of which, it looks like some of it is missing, which is a bit annoying. But, yeah, we've never really used a wheat farm, but it definitely looks quite cool. It's a nice little corridor that we have running in over to the Sugarcane Farm. But before we take a look at that, I just want to say that behind here, we have got ourselves an automatic sorting system that sorts out all of our items into various chests. And we need to do a little bit of that right now because my inventory is full of a load of rubbish. Now, ideally, we will add a few more items into the system eventually, because at the minute you can't do any redstone bits, and that's quite annoying because I work with redstone quite a bit. But anyway, out the back here we have got the mob sorting system. This sorts out all of the mob drops that come in from the mob spawner, and then we have all of the slime balls from the slime farm. Let's take a look. Yeah, we've still got a few there. I keep using them up. And then we have the output for our pumpkin and melon farms as well, which are up on the surface. Then we have this super smelter. This is like an industrial furnacing station. I've got a video of that on my channel, and it's pretty good. It works very nicely. As you can see, we get ourselves tons of stone from this one, as well as tons of glass. So that works nicely. Very glad that I built that thing. Then, on the other side, we have got ourselves the enchanting area. This is where I do all my enchanting, and these is actually an automatic anvil replacement system. So say both of these break here, and we pick them up, which I'm not going to be able to do now. When we hit this button, you will see that we get ourselves a new anvil, and we get ourselves another new anvil. So that works, and is pretty functional. I like these sorts of builds, even if I have just lost a couple of anvils. Well, that's not really a problem. We've got tons of iron. So like I say, this is the enchanting area. Nothing particularly fancy about this one just yet, but on the other side, we have got ourselves a secret passage that is activated by... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I just remembered that this is actually a redstone torch key, not a button activated thing. So there we go, I just broke the anvil dispenser system. But anyway, this is the secret entrance through the enchanting system. As you can see, we really don't have much decoration going on here. We've got a little bit of the back area, but now we head through into the farming room. I spent a good number of episodes on this area, and once again, it is probably one of my favorite rooms I have ever built. It just looks really cool. I love the roof, and I love all of the materials. Obviously, once again, is stone brick. It's a fairly reoccurring theme. But down here, we have got ourselves a seed farm. So we flick it, and you can see that you get your seeds. Let's turn that off, because it's really noisy and really annoying. But all of those items travel up to the top here, and you can see that you get tons of the stuff. So that's pretty useful. Then on this side, we have got automatic wheat, potato, and carrot farms. We've got one on the other side as well. This is a bread maker, so it's another automatic wheat farm. Works quite nicely. I believe it's by Exuma, so you could check that one out. And then on this other side, we have got the cocoa bean farm. This was built by Redeem. Once again, you should check that out because it is super efficient and provides you with absolutely tons of cocoa beans, which no one ever needs ever. And then over on this side as well, we have got another wheat farm. I just wanted to get all of the wheat farms in one place so we never have to build another one again. And it worked. back up on the surface now, this is the room in which the farming room is down underneath. I don't know if that was a sentence or not. I don't know if that made any sense whatsoever. But if you go down there, that is how you get to the farming room. And this entire building, actually, is looking a little bit worse for wear. Once again, this is one of the rooms or buildings that I built very early on the server. And yeah, it's not looking so good. I think it got set on fire or blown up by a creeper at some point. But anyway, this is the elephant in the room, as some people are calling it, because it is the giant cactus farm. And a lot of people say it looks ugly. I think it looks fairly cool. I don't know why. I like the way that it looks. It looks quite big, industrial, menacing, farmy, efficient. I don't know what I'm going for here, but I really like that building. The cactus farm produces so much cactus, we never have to worry about it again. Not that I was ever particularly worried about my lack of cactus. But anyway, if we head through here, this is the original donators village. So when I used to accept donations, which I don't anymore, this is where people's houses would be built. And my plan was that it was going to be like a sprawling city that goes right the way around our base, but I stopped taking donations because I didn't really like the thought of that kind of thing, so this is as far as it got. But anyway, over here we have got the Rubik's Cube Monument. This is ode to Joe Hills, who built an absolutely massive Rubik's Cube in my base, and it's one of the most viewed videos on my channel and of Hermitcraft. It was huge, it was absolutely huge, and he asked me to work out what the top block was, and I don't really understand Rubik's Cubes that much, or at least I've never really owned one, so I couldn't do it, which was a little bit embarrassing. But anyway, if we walk up this pathway, we're going to head over to something that I haven't looked at for a while, and that is Mumbo's Sleepy Hollow. Yes, this was where I was originally going to be putting my bed, and I still want to be putting my bed up here, but the issue is that I have no idea how to furnish this place. I have no idea how to make the inside look good. We've got the fountain looks cool, but other than that, I've just got no clue. You can see I started trying to work it out, and that happened. Not particularly pretty, is it? It's not nice at all. So we've sort of ignored that one. There's probably tons of resources up here. But anyway, if we head back down to the bottom of the base, let's take a look at the tree farm, because the tree farm is one of my favorite farms that I've built on the server, simply because it just helps you out so much. When you're running low on wood, you just head over here, you just chuck down a bunch of saplings, it pushes them along, and you get yourself tons of wood. Now, once again, I have got myself a video of this one on my channel, how to build it, a full tutorial. It was uploaded, I think, on Christmas Eve last year. So there we go, that is that one, and it's a pretty fancy contraption, pretty efficient as well. Now, if we head back up here, I almost forgot something. This chicken farm is the business. I have got 4 double chests of chicken, and it's probably backed up through all the hoppers as well. It's just the best thing ever. It's infinite food, and it's so useful. If you are going to build any farm for food, build yourself a chicken farm. It's genius. On the outskirts of the base, you can see the industrial tree farm. This is what I use to get any other wood. So any wood that isn't oak wood doesn't actually work in the tree farm that we have over here. So we have got this one for things like spruce wood, acacia, pine. I don't know any other types of wood. I'm not particularly good at names. But this one works quite well as well. We have got ourselves a minecart that travels along underneath and picks up all of the saplings and puts them all into this chest right here. So that was a cool project that took a very long time to build, and I'm happy with how it turned out. As far as other farms go, this is the pumpkin and melon farm. They're pretty tall, and I believe this is designed by Exuma. Works very nicely, timed automatically through a hopper circuit, a hopper timer down at the bottom, which means that they harvest periodically, as you saw happen just there, I do believe. And they're very efficient. We have got tons and tons of pumpkins and melons now, so that's good. Now, this is the property of Horizon Wireless. That is Corrales giving us some free Wi-Fi, which is lovely of him. And now, what we are going to do is we're going to head over to the fishing town. Like I say, it has been absolutely ages since I've been over here, but it's a project that I worked on for a very long time, and I want to take a look. Ah yes, this is the spot, and I just remembered I tried some experimenting and then promptly stopped when I realised that what I was doing is pretty horrendous. Yeah, that is not pretty in the slightest. I'm probably going to have to take it down. I mean, the idea of the structure is quite nice, but no. Bright orange roofs in this sort of place. Oh, they don't look very good. But anyway, what we have is, first off, in terms of redstone, because that's mostly what I'm interested in, we have got ourselves a redstone automatic lighting system, which lights up when it turns dark. That's good. And then over here, we have got ourselves the watchtower, which is a really cool build. I remember spending absolutely ages of this one, and it being a very time-lapse based episode. I think that was the first time that I did a third-person time-lapse. Can't really remember. But anyway, this is another house. I quite like it. And then we've got the fishing lodge over there and the train station, as well as a mini storage area. Now, I do believe I actually built a little 3x3 gravel and sand door over here. So let's take a look. Is it still working? Yes, we have got the extension and also the retraction. Yeah, so we've got ourselves a 3x3 door. And oh, that is the infamous Fishing Town lag spike. That is when you load my area. Oh, it's not pretty. Right, how about we head down to the bottom of my Mumbo Jumbo Jungle base. Using my new fandangled hidden 2x2 trapdoor, we could... Oh, no! Oh, God, that was scary. I wasn't expecting to fall all the way through there. But that is the new trapdoor that we recently built. And this is the automatic mining system. This was a very popular project indeed. It doesn't do quite what it says on the tin, because when you say automatic mining system, people get very excited. The idea is that when you come back from the mine, you then chuck all of your items that you have got into these hoppers, and they get transported upwards. It means that you don't have to have like a dedicated storage area down beneath, and you don't have to worry about any items that you might lose, like say you're carrying all your diamonds from the mining. Essentially, when you're done with the branch mine, you just run back, chuck all the items in, and move on. So this was a cool project, and I really enjoyed working on it. And whereabouts is the flowing lava that everyone always points out? I might have actually fixed it in the end. I can't remember. Wherever it is, just be comfortable in the knowledge that I'm never going to fix it. That's going to drive a lot of you around the bend, isn't it? I'm never fixing that. That's going to stay. But anyway, if we head over through the end here, we make our way over to the slime farm. Now, this thing is not particularly efficient, and a lot of people have made it quite clear that I need to have water streams going all the way around the farm. But the thing that I'm worried about is the fact that in the next snapshot, or in the next update, slimes can actually swim. So I actually don't know if these water stream systems are going to work anymore, and that's why I held off from doing anything like that. But the slimes basically walk off the edge, fall in here, and then run it into lava, in which their items are transported along upwards, and then along, and then upwards into my main storage system. That was a bit of a logistical nightmare, and it used a lot of redstone, but I'm pretty glad that I did it, because I don't want to come all the way over here to pick up some slime balls, because that's quite a lot of effort. Just very quickly, this is the storage room for the automatic mining setup, and you can see that it has got a whole bunch of supplies in here from all of my mining trips, including a few axes. That's quite useful, and also a bow, which isn't particularly useful. That's a fairly rubbish bow, but also some wood and other things that clearly I've just completely forgotten about. So there we go. That is the one problem with having a sorting system that is separate from your main storage. I just have an awful memory. This one here should be another familiar project. This is the gold farm. Yeah, I worked on this for a good number of episodes, probably about 5 or 6, and that is because doing a project like this, even though this isn't particularly large scale, just takes up so much time. It really does take up loads of time, because obviously getting the obsidian and then sorting out the area underneath, making the killing system, the item elevator, the transport to all of the golden nuggets upwards. Would I say it was worth it? Probably not. Okay, we're only getting a couple golden nuggets each time. That said, I don't really spend, or at least I haven't been spending that much time over at my base recently, so that might be the reason for it. But so far, I've probably got around about a stack of golden bars, which is, well, pretty rubbish really. But anyway, if we head through the tunnel here, this takes us back on through over to the Sugarcane Farm and things. So if you just head up, and oh, I just remembered that ender elevator doesn't work when you're stood in the water. You have to be on the edge. So if we head through here, this is the Sugarcane Farm that now doesn't work. But this is it. It's a pretty big thing, and it produced a lot of sugarcane. You can see all of these chests are full, and the reason I haven't fixed it yet is because I am yet to use any of the sugarcane. So it's not really that high on my priority list at the minute. But this one here is our automatic obsidian farm. So when you take out all of the obsidian and then place down all the string again, it will automatically harvest it, and that works quite nicely, but I believe that is going to be fixed in the latest update, which is a bit of a shame. Now over on this side we have got ourselves a speed potion brewing stand, and this was a design by Exuma. Works very nicely, and I'm happy that I built it because it means I can get loads of swiftness potions, and then I can make my way over to New Hermiton because that takes quite a long time. Now, oh, I just remembered. I'm still yet to make this door open from the other side. Now that's because the only way that you used to be able to get into this room is through that door. So that meant that you didn't really have to close it on the other side. But now that we have an alternate entrance, yeah, things like this happen. But this is a 4x4 vault door. It's supercharged, and I really like it. It's one of my favourite redstone builds ever, and I'm glad that I have at least one in my base. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe we have just covered almost everything. I think that is everything that I have done on Hermitcraft in the past year, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't like a small amount disappointed. Because in my head, I was like, oh, I've been playing for a year and I've done loads and loads of stuff. But when you actually take a look at it, it's not really that much. It feels like it's been loads. But looking at it from my perspective, for the amount of time that I've put in, is it that much? Maybe not. Maybe I have to be a more efficient Minecraft player. I don't know. But all I can say is that I am pretty proud of what I've achieved on Hermitcraft. And I'm glad that you guys have been enjoying my little adventure that I've been having on here. And the adventure is still ongoing. We are still working on various projects that are to be built on Hermitcraft, and I myself am very excited for the future of the server because I think it is going to be pretty awesome indeed. But anyway, this has been the longest mini episode I have ever done, so I think I'm just going to make this a normal Hermitcraft episode, then mini episodes will continue on in the next couple of weeks. But if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.